Okay, and we're gonna start recording now. All right, hello there, Uber Clay. How are you doing this wonderful week?
Man, I'm doing good. It's been a rough one, but I'm hanging in there. And thank you for having me, man. I'm excited to be here.
I can't wait to do the wonderful month of August, which it is totally close enough. But before I'm excited to start, we're more excited to talk about our wonderful channel sponsors. That's right. Aho Works, wonderful patches. Use coupon code /AGCast for 5% off your order, and Intrusive Shirts. Wonderful shirts, wonderful designs, another 10% off if you were to use a coupon code /AGCast. And now that is out of the way, let's keep going to the rest of what we got. What is this long month bringing us?
Yeah, so yeah, that's funny. This month is going to be short because we've only got one beta and one release for the month of August. Had a little summer break, and that's okay. So we'll start with the beta. And this is a kind of an unusual beta. This is not your typical beta, and for the old heads that are around, you'll kind of be familiar with this and share the some good and bad memories along as we talk. But the beta for August is the Ender Nylon mod, and that's Decimal's little baby. And so yeah, it's just like we are taking a trip back in time, but this is still relevant. So if you have an Ender 3 or an Ender, anywhere around an Ender 3, this is a beta where you can join and you can learn about the different parts you can swap out to convert it to print engineering filaments, and that basically is nylon. And so it's what we used to do back in the day. You modify the firmware, you change out the board, you change out your your hot end. You got to up the temperature resistance of some parts because nylon obviously takes a hotter printing temperature than PLA, but for a lot less than you can probably buy a nylon printer, you can convert your Ender 3 to print nylon. And he's doing it right now, and he's getting great results. So not everybody can afford to go out and buy a bamboo. And if you're, you're on a tight budget in this economy, maybe this is something for you. I bet maybe $100, $150, you might be able to get enough of the upgrades and a little, sweat equity to throw this together. And plus today's nylons, they've got more and more crossovers that don't have to print at 300 degrees. You can, I've seen nylons that print pretty decent at 260, 270. So you're not having to top it out like you used to. Anyways, that's kind of Decimal's Ender nylon mod, and if it's got a good place because. If you haven't gotten into the nylon game, you can do some really cool stuff. These nylons are impervious to heat. They can be in a hot car. You don't have to worry about getting them out in the sun all day, or if there's some definite advantages to printing once you get settled on a frame that you like. Print what I call a forever frame in nylon, and you can carry it just about anywhere that you would take a regular Glock to.
This just brings back wonderful memories of a time
I
that
know.
once was of not even Ender 3 or Ender 5 or the S stuff. No, Ender. Oh
Yes.
boy, that is some wonderful memories. I mean, one of the big things, I guess, a good thing about this one is, hey, I think I don't have to actually censor this image for for this one. But aside from that,
Right.
I mean, things that I guess maybe a lot of us might be taking now for granted was, direct drive. That was a wonderful thing to be able to have when that time was around. This was the older Bowden days, back in the original Ender
Yep.
3 times. All metal hot end, those are always it could always go a couple ways with those. Some of them were better for some things, worse than other things. But like, hey, you could do nylon with it. And I remember when I first did something like this, there was never like a good way of doing it, but there was always like some ways of doing it.
Yes.
It's interesting. I guess kind of consolidating it all now for I guess whoever is left behind. I like how you said change motherboards. God, can you imagine like anyone that has the old 8-bit one, the one that has like the
Yes.
super loud steppers where it just sounds like
Yes.
those like music boxes every time you like goes and turns. Like
Well, the other thing this is good for too is that and this is there's a couple guys in this beta that are actually doing this where they're taking because the current enders are shipping with backwards compatible parts. So they're taking their like Ender 2s or their Ender 3s that are older and updating them. And so, this beta is an opportunity to do that as well. The boards that they're using are like the new manufacturer that's shipping with all the Enders today. You can throw those in, and you might obviously they're going to use some custom firmware, or are using some custom firmware. They have one pre-compiled version now, and I think the plan is they're going to come up with a few variants depending on what's prevalent. So you can learn how to compile your own firmware. It's not that hard, but they're going to have some pre-compiled firmwares in this package that you can just plug and play with. And so if you got an old Ender, maybe you have a printer now that you're happy with, but you want to update your Ender to do something with it, or have a dedicated, nylon capable Ender to do something else with. It's just sitting around there. This is a good way to get some help on updating it.
I mean, and this is just a nice little thing to do. Good quality of life, if anything. The only stuff I would only imagine that could probably make this just a little bit better, but then we're going really into big mission creep, is that, like, maybe a clipper upgrade for like anyone that's something I would really prefer.
Yes.
Would just be like, a sonic pad, but a sonic pad that actually works. Like maybe are Raspberry Pis finally like normal now? Like can we actually get them? It's been a while. I remember like around when I was going to do like Octoprint and stuff, that was almost impossible to find them. And then what was it? You had the Chinese like are copies of like, was it Orange Pies and other stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like
I actually have an Ender. One of my Enders is a totally outfitted rig with a Raspberry Pi and Octoprint. And that was my best Ender. If you can get, nothing against it, but if you can get an Ender to run on, you can take the processing offline, into another system. It really makes the printer run better, faster, smoother. Those boards just get overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. And like that's another thing people always forget about layer skipping and stuff. It could also be your board overheating, which is its own thing.
Yes.
An Ender 3, even with like Clipper, if you were to do a sonic pad and like get it to work properly, it actually is shocking how well the Ender 3 can do. I know I upgraded mine with a Sprite extruder and stuff, and I tried it for a little bit. I also just have an Ender 5 S1, so it's like, well, why use the Ender 3 for that? But
right.
Like, I will say, trying to get that Ender 3 with a Sprite dual lead screw to like run properly now with like custom firmware is a pain. It is a pain to do for sure. So this is a nice little thing, I guess, for those who are still stuck in behind it. Or maybe, this is the other part, the other people I think this would be for, is the people that are still just unwilling to swap over to Bamboo for all the privacy and security concerns, because that is still a large enough audience of people, and I completely understand where these people are coming from too.
Yeah. I have a Bamboo. I like it, but they're, depending on where you're at, and you can't afford. I live in a free state. I'm not intensely worried about it, but there's a lot of people that aren't. So Bamboo if that's not working for you, that is absolutely valid. And I got to tell you, if you don't have a nylon compatible printer, you're missing out, because the filament game has gotten way better than it used to be. And they got nylons now that you can print really, really easily compared to what we had 2-3 years ago.
Oh yeah, 100%. Nylon has gotten a lot better. That being said, though, is PLA still, I think, has definitely its place, but being able to print nylon,
PLA's gotten better too.
yeah, way better. Oh god, I remember 2021 eSun Plus. Just that wet mess. Another thing that there's still that bait, I think, on the dry box. I feel like that would kind of blend well with this one too, because the biggest thing for sure on nylon that has never changed is that nylon does not like moisture. So I think those are the two things, importantly, that you need to figure out. And, this is a good little thing for those, I guess, again, who want to go up to this. But I mean, I guess a big thing too about this, we might as well go through this. So, what are the ones we got for this? Is it like Ender 3? I think, what is it? Soval, all the Soval printers are almost all Ender 3 like clones too, but those are like still
Clones.
being made and cheaper. You think those would also be included in those too? I guess because like I feel like if you're in that market or you kind of want to get one like cheapest printer, Soval is still probably the better option than just a used Creality Ender 3. You might as well just get a new Ender 3 for like $90.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not positive about that. I know that Decimal had enders, and that's what he was primarily specking the process after. But they've gotten some good participation in there. So I think that there's been a few. I know there's been discussions on expanding and from the Ender 3, but I'm not sure if it's just the adding different models of the Ender series or if it's going outside of that. But
Yeah,
we'll have to see how it goes.
I hope they could get the newer like touchscreen monitor ones, or I mean, if anything, just go the Soval route. But in all honesty, it's not, it's a weird place where I'm like, yeah, no, God, you're bringing up Ender 3 in this current year. Wow, that's the year 2025. We're bringing up the Ender 3. How old is that printer right now? I guess I could do a quick little search right now. When did the Ender 3 come out?
Listen, I mean, when I first started printing, I was all about trying to spend as least amount of money as possible because I really just didn't know what I didn't know. And so I figured like I was going to do everything as cheap as possible until I got an idea about what I was supposed to be doing, And so you can get a used ender or even a Amazon return ender for really cheap, man. So if you want to get in the game or you want to mess around with this and be as least amount of money invested as possible, I mean, this is not a bad way to go. I bet you could probably get the used ender and mod it up and be under $300 maybe.
When do you think the Ender 3 Pro came out?
Oh geez, been a couple years, I think, hadn't it?
A little more than just a couple years.
Ender 3 Pro.
Well, I guess yeah, Ender 3.
I don't know when.
The Ender 3.
I don't know how.
The Ender 3 was 2019. I believe
Jesus, it's been that long.
Yep. Yep. Ender 3 Pro is around 2019. The SE or the V2 came in 2021. Or no, the Ender 3 S1 was released in 2021.
Wow.
Dear God.
Wow.
That is
2025, isn't it? Yeah, fuck.
The Ender 3 original came out in 2018.
Yeah, I was going to say that one's like way back in the day. I think I've actually got a V1. I used to get them off Comgrow. They used to have the no questions, like basically they were returns. They knew something was wrong with them, but they didn't know. But they would send them to you for like $60, shipping included. But it was like with the understanding that you can't return it. So like you're just going to get what you're going to get, and God have mercy on your soul. And I think I bought 2 of them like that, and I was able to fix both of them. They had something stupid wrong with them.
I'm just surprised of how many Ender 3s came out. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Dude, there was a lot of them. I forgot that we're now at the 3KE or Ender 3V 3KE.
Yeah, right.
And that is, oh my God, right. It looks like goodness, this is like those old tech trees, the stuff if you ever play like World of Tanks or something. Oh, okay, well, either way, this is a fun one, especially I guess if you don't want to build a firearm. I mean, I guess this one would probably help the general community overall besides the gun community. I think this would help also like the 3D printing community as a whole, which is nice.
I mean, there's a lot of people that like myself who, spent a lot of years, in a lot of pain with the Enders. I don't regret it. I'm glad it happened, but I don't want to go back. And so, I'm kind of like, enjoying my time with the easy at Core XY, and not having to constantly maintain my printer, and getting expected results. And I don't want to deter anyone from exploring, the bed slingers. You can definitely get one on a budget. You can definitely do everything on the catalog on a bed slinger. Nothing wrong with that.
Hey man,
But,
remember back in the day, we used to say, what was it? Almost every design was meant to be printed on an Ender 3 with PLA, just PLA, not PLA Pro, PLA. A lot of the original like designs, which is why some of them are a little blockier than others, were all meant to be made with on an Ender 3 and with PLA because that was like the lowest common denominator of like, yeah, 100%. Anyone could be able to afford this. Like I think the original FGC 9 even came with G code for the Ender 3.
Wow,
which
that's crazy.
Like is a crazy thought to think about because I remember I used the original. I think at first I tried doing the original G code one, which it actually worked fine, but like different times, different things for everything. Like oh my goodness, we are talking old stuff now. But it's This was again. If you're feeling nostalgic, I guess, and you want to dust off that old thing, which looking at my Ender 3, I am 100. My Ender 3 V2, I have spent probably. It was 220 when I got it, but I had a bunch of gift cards, so I actually spent like maybe like $50 on it or something. But I have probably spent around like maybe 350 on upgrades alone. Which if you were to do the full math on that, let's say 220 plus 350, let's just say I could have had a bamboo by now.
My original Ender is a similar story, where I got into it cheap and the upgrades were cheap, but every time something broke, I didn't just replace it, I like upgraded it. So and it printed nonstop. So over the years, it consumed some money. Yeah, it did.
You reach the point too where you're doing like when you upgrade it too much and then you run into a new issue. It's like, oh, now I have to troubleshoot. Now it's like now I have to troubleshoot so many more other things now. I'm like, oh, is it the firmware that I have? Why it's not working properly anymore? You get there's a bit of a con sometimes when you have that pure level of customability. It was not the most fun sometimes for that thing. But hey, I guess if we're still rocking it Ender 3, then yeah, why not just help out with this one? Because I bet, there are probably a lot of people who are getting started from like, let's say, whoever, like, just someone just gave them an Ender 3 just for free. Like, hey, I don't use it anymore. Just go ahead and take it. So probably there's still a lot of people that just have Ender 3s because what is a better barrier to entry than $0?
Yeah. I had co-op gave me an Ender 3. I have had people give me Ender 3s. Most of the time it's because they try to do the firmware and they bricked it. When I know how to do firmware, so I would go down the rabbit hole of unbricking the printer, and I've helped people unbrick their printers. So if you need help unbricking a printer, holler at me. I can probably help you. But I want to jailbreak one of my bamboos, but I'm like, man, I haven't taught myself into taking that plunge yet, but I've got an old X1C I want to do. I want to flash it and try to jailbreak it.
You can just say we don't have unlimited time anymore because the pandemic is over, so we can't just do things like that anymore.
Yeah, I know. When those go bad, they really go bad. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like it's all good until you brick it.
Anyways. I think the only reason why I put so much time and effort into my Ender 3 was just because it was the pandemic and classes were online. Yes. So like even when classes were online, I could just like tinker with my printer with my laptop next to it, which was nice. But like now that I can't do that anymore, it's like
what else are you gonna do with what else are you gonna do with a stimulus check than buy printer stuff and parts kits? I mean, that's what I did. You get the stimmy check and go see what kind of parts kits I could go get. Go make another filament purchase.
Man, this is bringing back wonderful memories, but we don't need to get too nostalgic anymore. This is a fun little one, I guess. Again, you have an Ender 3, which those it just feels weird to say that nowadays. Oh my god.
Blast from the past. Blast from the past.
A true blast from the past, I guess. I wonder what you could do to find one right now, but like If you just want to go feel what we used to feel, the pains we did, get your piece of paper and twist the knobs every time you wanted to level the thing, then feel free to join in. But I'm glad someone's doing
Yes.
it. Good job, Decimal. And I guess for that, I don't know what else we could add to that.
Right on. Well, so we've got one release for August as well, and that was the SoundShock Neo. It's a 3D. It's been in beta for forever. It's a 3D printable Beretta 22. It's kind of like a funky little space gun. It's got a vibe, but it was exciting to finally get it out of beta. So, anyways, that was our release for August.
Yeah, no, I mean, my only like comment I have to add, this is the exact same one I added back then. This was the first handgun I ever shot before. Well, not the first, but it's like the first one I owned, like the first one I got to shoot at a range, like when my friends took me out shooting in college, which is, I like it a lot. It is a wonderful little gun. It is cute. It's different. If you want to be that one guy who's different than like the Ruger 1022s, or now I guess not 1022s, I mean the Mark IV, Mark V,
Mark IV, yeah,
Mark IV, Mark V's. Yeah. Then like this is the one you want to get. Or I mean, I kind of like the Taurus actually. The Taurus is kind of sweet, but this is like one of those guns that kind of makes you wonder. Wow, I can't believe it's not a Kel-Tec. Of like, it is a unique looking gun. Where like back when 22s were fun and interesting. I'm trying to remember who is the other. It kind of reminds me of that like Colt one, or is it Colt or Smith and Wesson? I'm trying to remember, but.
Well, there's a, what it reminds me of is that stupid Spectrum 380 that Taurus makes. It's kind of got the same like weird look to it, where it's got the teardrop looking slide kind of, but
that looks nothing like the Spectrum 380.
you don't think so? I thought it does, but I don't know. I guess it's got a similar space gun vibe.
I'm gonna post. I'll put the picture there for everyone else to see it too. But this, I'll let you make the decision of that.
Well, all right. So yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe my imagination is making it. Was thinking it looked a little bit more similar than that. So
yeah, you said
whatever.
I was gonna say the Colt's Woodsman Target. I think was the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Okay.
It's got the weird like split slide thing, like slide and barrel. But anyway, I mean, and honestly, they're a little bit different actually. But anyways, it's a fun little gun. It's a 22, whatever. Definitely, if you just want to be someone different and unique, I think it's got a Picatinny rail you can mount things on. It's a nice little 22. And the nice thing about 22, especially 22 builds, are even if you kind of mess up, it's a 22. It's not going to really like do anything too bad for you. But
yes,
we like to hope that doesn't happen.
I tell you, that receiver's intense. When I was looking over the CAD, I was tripping out. Like whoever, from what I understand, there's several people who've worked on that project, so it's not just the result of just one person. But that was refining that. That's an intense little project. Like when you see the geometry involved, it's that was a labor of love for real.
I could definitely believe that. That is not a gun that comes to my mind immediately. I only know it solely because this one small little range my friends took me to one time had that. I was like, that thing looks cool. I want to shoot it. And that was exactly what I did. It's a neat little one. It again, I mean, I haven't shot one since like maybe my second or third time ever shooting a gun. So like probably maybe I might have some more different like takes on it now, but I loved that thing. It was fun. It didn't kick too much. It wasn't too heavy. I guess it doesn't have, a threaded barrel for guys that want to do suppressors because that's becoming a bigger thing now. But like, yeah, yep. If you like style, I think it's got good style.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm not watching for these parts kits, but I do see them come up from time to time, but they don't seem like they're super prevalent. But I'm gonna have to start kind of keeping my eyes open for one. It wouldn't be a bad gun to, it's one of the few I haven't built, so I might snatch a parts kit up if I see one. Anyway, it's just Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say all I'm doing is I'm looking for like a 22 at some point, but you know I'm thinking I want a 22 pistol and a 22 like rifle, so I need to get I need a nice little 22 pistol at some point. But anyways, I guess there's I don't know what else you want to add to that so far. I guess we can keep this one rather short for everyone else.
Yeah, we'll have some more to talk about next month, but like I say, we had August was kind of a slow month for new betas and releases. So that's all we got. That's all we got for today.
There's nothing wrong with that. I guess I will bring up one thing for our fun little conclusions are, did you see, with the suppressor stuff coming a little closer to the horizon, did you see like High Point even had a suppressor they came out with?
I did see that. So like High Point's 22. Really, yeah, High Point came out with an AR and then they came out with a suppressor. I'm like, wow, what is going on? Very interesting development.
Yeah, suppressor tech, I think, is getting more and more people are getting into suppressors, which is interesting. Because I mean, I feel like for us, we were like for like a year ago, almost every suppressor or like almost every beta was a suppressor.
it's gonna like you want to talk about something that's going to drive 3D printing. Once these stamps go to zero, man, the whole printed can thing is. I mean, it's going to go completely insane.
When you think about what the geometry is and like what it is, it really, like why not? I mean, the only challenge is like the filing the paperwork, which is going to be the biggest factor of it. But like, I went to a gun store not too long ago, and they were like telling me, it was like, yeah, don't wait till January 1st. Like they were saying I could buy it then, like use their silencer code thing or silencer shop. Buy it there. They hold on to it till like January 1st, and then like I sign the paper, I do the tax stamp and everything, and then and there, and then like I'll have it because they were telling me just outright, it's like when January 1st comes around, you are not going to get a suppressor ever. It's going to take. Everyone's going to be out of stock, which makes sense.
I mean, maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I'll tell you what would be if you were smart. With the Form 1, compatible, you could just, you could sell mag lights with, parts kits, right? A Timu fuel filter with some baffles and, do a DIY kit, man, mail order,
Dude, I'm so excited for that because I, again, have been waiting to fill out my Form 1 for my AR FNT for that. I got the Break Arms muzzle brake device, which actually shockingly really good device. I'm surprised with how much I like that Break Arms thing. But when that time comes along, I'm going to get everything else for it because I would never buy the parts ahead of time. That's silly, guys. Remember that. Anything you say is a suppressor part is already a suppressor, and you can't have a suppressor part in your possession yet. So when you're filling out those Form 1 forms, you didn't actually own that. You bought everything on Amazon or Home Depot after you got approved. That is the proper way of doing it. You don't own it ahead of time. Do correct. With that information as you will, but that's how you get denied instantly. And it's also you get your door kicked in because you technically have a suppressor.
And I kind of like the fact that there's no real time limit that you have to build your NFA item. So, you could get a couple of stamps because you're going to want to build something, or you're going to want to build the NFA item that you got the stamp for, but you don't, I mean, it's not like they expire, right? So, if it takes a while to get the stuff and like figure it out, that's okay. You can just take your time. But so, I plan on getting like, a handful of stamps and, there's all kinds of interesting things I want to dev once I get some stamps. I want to do some short barrel shotguns and stuff that I think are going to be fun to do some 3D printed DIY things like that.
Yeah, my crazy one that I might do is just SBR Mac Daddy and take that to some competitions because the problem with the Mac Daddy is it's a pistol and some pistol or some like competitions don't allow you to use pistol braces or anything, so you either have to have it 16 inches or like a tax stamp SBR because it's competition's a little bit different than everything else, and honestly it also depends on the competition, but a whole different set of deals. But I just thought that'd be something fun to bring up with. I saw High Point doing that. It's like, oh god, the suppressor thing's gonna be huge, but who knows?
It's crazy, man. Yeah, and I see little bits and pieces about. I guess there's people challenging the fact that and I don't know if they can really do anything between now and the end of the year, but I see at least people working towards trying to get the requirement for the stamp removed. But with the whole argument of you're not charging anything for it, is no longer a tax.
Oh
So
my. Hopefully it goes better than Franklin Army's one, but we'll leave it at
yeah,
that, I guess.
holy shit.
We'll leave it at that, but it was a pleasure talking to you, and I guess we'll talk to you later. See you guys
Yep,
next week.
sounds good, man. See you next month.